Yes, hello guys, and welcome to the Liverpool preview. As you can see, I'm joined by just Sam today. The rest of the lads are currently busy, so it's just me and you today. Sam, how are you?
Yeah, I'm all right. The rest of the lads are not busy. They just didn't want to do this because they know what's coming.
Oh yeah, I'm trying to save him there a little bit, but yeah. We're going to get into the preview in a second, Sam, but I just want to dive into some of the quotes from the presser and a big tweet from Simon Stone that's literally just come out before we went live, and it's regarding Ten Hag. So we'll start off with that, Sam, first. Manchester United are on the verge of confirming Erik Ten Hag's appointment on an expected 3-year deal. That's from Simon Stone. Literally could be announced any minute, could be announced whilst we're doing this. It's 99% complete, and probably today or within the next few days, it'll be officially announced, I imagine. But what excites you the most, Sam, with Ten Hag coming in?
Sort of leveling up players, making players better, because God knows we need it right now. We've got some, on paper, it's one of the most talented squads, especially in our forward areas. You'd think he'd be able to do something with that. Improve Donny van de Beek, hopefully, when he comes back from loans. Obviously, we all know the potential of Donny van de Beek, but it's just not worked for him at United so far. And then hopefully getting the best out of players who are severely underperforming, like Luke Shaw, Wan-Bissaka, players like that, young English players young, relatively speaking.
Yeah.
Get the best out of them, and then working with the youth system as well. Like, we've got exciting youth players going through: Hannibal, Garnacho, Charlie McNeil, Teden Mengi coming back for loan, James Garner, all that sort of stuff. So all the sort of things I'm looking forward to. Like, I'm not expecting him to come in and we win a trophy next season, because let's be realistic, it's not going to work that way. But just, if I can see an improvement in tactics, in player attitude, mentality, and in their performances getting better and being more consistent, then I'll count that as a win.
Yeah, it's all about the culture reset for me. When he comes in June, May, whatever it may be, and he comes in and takes a long, hard look at some of these players, and he's probably been watching them on the side, like how they're performing in games, but he'll have a proper in-depth chat with Rangnick, because he's had the 6 months to get his feet under the table and assess the situation literally as close as you can get there. And I imagine I'll speak to him and he'll be like, right, what's the issues, what needs sorting out? So that's why
he's also got a few players leaving on the end of contracts as well, which is good for him, because he doesn't have to worry about trying to sell them. He's got 4 or 5 players that are just walking out the door, and he's like, great, I don't have to worry about them. They're just fucking gone. So, which is always good.
Also frees up space on the wage bill as well. You think the likes of like Pogba, Lingard, Matic potentially leave. It's almost £1 million a week in wages. That's going to be off the bill.
Frees up spots for youth players as well. So
exactly.
Matic, Pogba going. That means James Garner might get an opportunity to
Mabry
play
as well.
Mabry, stuff like that. So
yeah, definitely. It's exciting, and it's very, very close now. So it could have been announced as to while we're talking now. It's any minute now. So it's a bit of positivity, and I reckon
they said after the cup final, didn't they? Which was yesterday. So.
Well, I think we're going to wait for the Liverpool game. I think because
if it goes wrong,
yeah, they will announce it if we get battered by Liverpool. I imagine, but yeah, we'll see what happens with that. On to a few quotes from the press conference today. In my personal opinion, I thought Ralph's body language looked it just looked drained, to be honest. And he mentioned the same players are still out with injury, and that might be why he looks a bit like fed up. Do you know what I mean? He's just giving his answers.
He feels how we feel, mate.
Yeah,
we feel the same way.
But he got asked by a journalist about the job that Jurgen Klopp is currently doing at Liverpool, and he said he is one of the best, if not the best coach, not only now, but in the last couple of years. It's no coincidence what has happened. They, Liverpool, brought in the right players and got rid of the right players. That is why they are where they are. Hard to disagree with that, Sam. I believe Klopp's done a great job with Liverpool, as much as it hurts to say. It's been there 5 years now. Turned average players like Robertson, who came from Hull, into a world-class left-back, one of the best in the league. Did the same with Trent, Firmino, Mane, and the list goes on. And that is the massive difference from Liverpool to us. It's just a recruitment, and that highlights all them kind of areas. But I don't want to praise them too much, as it's Liverpool. I hope Ten Hag gets a similar amount of time as Klopp has had at Liverpool, the 3-4 years, whatever. to really get his feet under the table and make big differences to this team. But yeah, what just your thoughts on Jurgen Klopp and what he's done at Liverpool?
Yeah, like everybody, I know a lot of people talk about Pep and the job he's done, but he's been able to spend as much as he likes, whatever he likes. Like if he could buy a 50 million centre back, and if it don't work, he just goes, right, I don't want him, get rid of him, get another one in. But Klopp hasn't had that. He spent money, but he's not had anywhere near what Pep has had. He's had to do it on a budget, relatively speaking, and he's done it with players that a lot of people thought weren't good enough or weren't quite at the standard. Like Salah, he came to Chelsea and Chelsea were like, no, not good enough. See you later. Yeah. Turned him into arguably the best striker / forward in the Premier League currently. Like you said, the fullbacks, Robertson and Trent, two of the best fullbacks in Europe, if not the rest of the world.
Yeah.
And then he's got, on paper, like Thiago aside, on paper, that midfield doesn't pull up in it. You don't go look at it and go, oh, that looks it. But he's got it working like in a fantastic midfield. It just absolutely works. Like they're there to literally do all the dog work that all the rest of the players don't. Because Trent's running forward,
aren't they?
Robertson's running forward, Trent's running forward, Salah, Jota, they're not going back. Yeah. They're doing everything, all the dirty work, and they don't get enough praise, but they're fucking effective and do what they need to do. So yeah, I just wish when we had the opportunity to get him, we did it. It's just
now it's never going to happen now, of course, obviously with being a Liverpool manager. But look, even as a United fan, you have to admire what he's done there. Even the job he done at Borussia Dortmund when he was over there, he's a fantastic manager. So full praise to Jurgen Klopp on that. Rangnick also got asked what United need to do to come out of Anfield with some sort of result, and he said, being more compact and aggressive, but maintaining defensive structure is what we need to show tomorrow against a team that is probably one of the best, if not the best, in creating moments, which you touched on then, Sam, which they can be dangerous from in and around the box. Now, Sam, we not watched the Norwich game together, didn't we? And highlighted our wing backs in that game were really bad in terms of the defensive positioning. They're going to have to sort it out tomorrow, aren't they? If they're coming up against Salah, Trent on one side, and then Mane and Robertson on the other. We'll get into predictions a little bit later on, but that's why I think Wan-Bissaka's a shoe-in to start tomorrow.
Yeah, I was just about to say that I think Wan-Bissaka's going to play just because you're going to have the full-backs and you're going to have whoever's playing on the left-hand side for Liverpool, whoever it is, they're going to be absolutely tearing apart. And as much as I like Dalot, it's not the game for him. Like, it's not the game for him to doing defensive work because that's not his strong point. So yeah, I wouldn't surprise me if Wan-Bissaka plays over there. If Luke Shaw wasn't out injured, I would have said he would have played, but obviously that's not an option at the minute, so it's going to be Tellers.
Yeah. I also think Rangnick's going to just say to him, look, you're going to have to be careful with your offensive output because they will exploit them spaces in behind. Wan-Bissaka naturally kind of stays there anyway. And he's got a bit more recovery pace than Diego Dalot has, so that's why I just think he's a shoe-in to start. But yeah, as I said, we'll get into predicted lineups a little bit later on. Looking towards the game, Sam, obviously playing Liverpool at Anfield. The last time we played them, we got mauled 5-0 at Old Trafford in probably the most embarrassing fixture this season so far in terms of scoreline. And we're praying that the same thing doesn't happen tomorrow, but it's a real possibility, taking all things into consideration and how we're playing at the moment. Some history for you in terms of the head-to-head. So we've played 59. So this is just since the Premier League started between Man United and Liverpool. We've won 28. They've won 17. 14 draws, 79 goals to us, 72 goals to them. Even penalties, even clean sheets, and pretty much even yellow cards as well. So in terms of head-to-head, very, very close. I can see the swing in Liverpool is kind of going up like that now in a minute. So how bad we're playing. The last two fixtures, we got beat 5-0 and 4-2, and both of them were at Old Trafford. So
yeah, I remember those, unfortunately. They were,
not a great reading. For me personally, tomorrow I'm expecting a really tough game, as I imagine you are, Sam. Liverpool extremely dangerous at the minute from every position on the pitch. The front three is as good as anyone on the planet.
It doesn't matter who they pick either. Like whether it's Diaz, Mane, whether it's Salah or Jota, like it doesn't matter. You're still gonna get absolutely
all of them are firing this season. So the concentration, as we touched on, it's got to be 100%. I'm gonna have to be disciplined and organized, which we haven't seen at all this season.
Especially defensively.
Well, yeah. In terms of players available for selection, I believe Cavani, Luke Shaw, Varane, Fred, and McTominay are still out with injury.
That's Matic playing 2 games in a row then.
Yeah, I thought he was calling him Asmatic then.
Asmatic. I mean, he might be.
Yeah, but it can work. But yeah, with that being said, Sam, I understand there's quite a lot of negativity. I've just gone through there, but do you give United fans any hope for tomorrow? It's tough.
It's hard. It's tough. Like, obviously, football, anything can happen at any time. Like, we've seen it happen so many times, especially with United and especially against United as well, where we've had teams where we should be just absolutely steamrolling them and then we've got battered. So I wouldn't put my house on it, us getting beaten. But if I could put like 99% of my house on it, I probably would. It's going to be tough, but we have got decent players, but it's just our confidence and our mentality is just absolutely zero right now. It's just at its absolute lowest. And then you're playing a team who's trying to win a title and they're absolutely flooring it in the Champions League. They battered City in the FA Cup. They are at their utter best and we are at our utter worst. So even if we were at our best, this is still going to be a struggle against a team that is just absolutely smashing it. So it is very hard to come up with any sort of positives. I mean, United fans, so I'll always hope that we can win. And I'll always hope beyond hope that we will, but it's very hard to be positive about this game currently.
Yeah, Anfield's a cauldron as well, a hot cauldron to go play there. Like, any professional player you speak to always says Anfield's a nightmare to play at. They are on your back constantly. And like you said, then with the low confidence issues, we concede one earlier, it's going to be a fucking long night, a very long night. But in terms of the players' attitude going into this, Sam, like, if they can't get up for this game, a Liverpool game in the Premier League, one of the biggest fixtures ever, we really are fucked, aren't they? If they can't, turn up for this.
Like, it wouldn't surprise me because you saw what happened at Old Trafford. They were just terrible. Like, it was, honest to God, watching that was just, it was like, I love horror films, but that was like watching a horror film where you like genuinely just terrified, like the state of your team. It was, one of my worst experiences as a United fan watching that. That was not fun. So it wouldn't surprise me if they don't get up for it because they've done it. They've got previous and they've done it already. Then where they've not showed up. So it's hard to say.
In that first game at Old Trafford, and like the amount of shit that went wrong, that could have just everything went wrong that could have done. Like, I think Ronaldo booted the ball at Trent's head, didn't he, out of frustration. But the Pogba got sent off. Yeah, we just got battered, absolutely battered. But
the defense just decided, we're just not going to do anything right. It just we're letting men go, letting runners go, not watching. Like, it was just
Maguire and Shaw getting tangled up with each other constantly. Just dear God, just please do not play like that tomorrow night. I will
take a boring 0-0 draw at this point.
Exactly.
I will take it. I will take it right now.
Yeah. But just as a separate question, just bringing it back to Ten Hag a little bit, do you think he'll be given the same time as Klopp has had at Liverpool? And does he really need that time in order to make it the proper change that we need?
It does. He needs the time. He definitely needs time. Like I've said several times on this channel, Klopp finished 8th. He finished 7th. He finished 8th again, and he finished it took him a long time. And you look at the players that he went through in that time as well. There were some players where you're just like, what is this guy doing? And he'd gone the next season, so he was trying players and stuff like that. So he got the time. But I think the pressure wasn't on Liverpool because he'd already been without a title for how many years when he came in?
Yeah, a long time, 20 years. Like that was,
So they'd already been, so it wasn't a pressure for him to win anything at that point because they'd already been so long before they'd won a title. So I think they just wanted to compete for anything. So I think they were able to give him that thing. The problem with United is the pressure to win, the pressure to succeed is immense, even though it's been a long time since we've won anything major, like beside an FA Cup and a UEFA Europa League. The pressure is just immense. Like, if he doesn't start delivering something within the first couple of years, there's going to be certain messages on the fan base or people up above on the board are going to be putting pressure on him to be like, you need to start winning stuff. Me personally, I'm happy if he gets 3-4 years and we can still progression and he's building a team. We don't finish we don't win the title or we don't win the Champions League for a few years, that's fine. If he builds a team, I don't mind. It's fine with me. But there's going to be other parts of the fan base, and there's going to be the board members who are going to be putting pressure on him. So I don't know whether he will get the time, but he needs the time. He definitely needs it.
That's the one thing that worried me that I've spoken about for ages now. You'll know with Ten Hag saying managing Ajax is completely different to managing Manchester United. The pressure is times 10, and you will be highlighted for every little error you make and every little judgment you do. So yeah, the pressure is definitely different in terms of that aspect. But just going back to what you were saying about Klopp, his team, and I've always said this as well, his team and Pep's team, they've got 8-9 of their players that they signed in that squad. So that is their identity as a team. You can't have Ten Hag come in, have one summer window and be like, that's his team. You need a few years in order for him to get every player in, because he's arguably the full back line you could change under him if he needs to change that, because the wing backs might not be able to play in the style that Maguire's got his issues. Varane's always injured. Then you've got the Gea distribution issue. Will they bring in a new keeper there and be cutthroat with that? The issues with midfield we've had for the past 2-3 years, and then up top, is he going to get rid of Ronaldo? Is he going to bring new wingers in? Like, it's all around the pitch, and that ain't going to be done in one window. It's going to take a long time, so we will need it. And I myself, like you, Sam, I'll be 100% patient with it if it takes 3-4 years, whatever it is. But it needs a massive culture reset, and yeah, that's natural.
We're probably going to next year as well. We're probably going to get battered by City and stuff like that again. That's probably going to happen again next year, because he's not going to be able to get his team in one transfer window. Like, it's not going to happen. Yeah. So you're going to have to be prepared to like swallow some like pretty bitter pills, like, because it's not going to be turned around straight away. Like, it's going to suck for a long time, and we've just got to sort of put up with it for a bit.
Yeah, so let's take a look at Liverpool's last 5 results, shall we? So the form, they've beat Man City 3-2 in the FA Cup, knocked them out, so they're in the final now. Drew with Benfica 3-3, which is a pretty exciting game. Then they had City in the league, which was 2-2.
Great, also a very good game.
Very, very good game, 2 quality sides. And then before that, they beat Benfica 3-1 at their ground, which they dominated pretty much. Benfica had the odd chance, and then they beat Watford 2-0. So they've won 3 and drawn 2, scoring 13 goals, but conceding 8. Jota, Mane and Salah are all in double figures this season, just in the Prem alone for goals. Trent, Robertson and Salah top the assist chart for the Premier League this season, all 3 of them. I think it goes Trent, Robertson, then literally Salah in like a top 3. They're in the final of the FA Cup, semi-finals of the Champions League, and they're currently 1 point behind City in the league. The one thing that sticks out to me in that, if you're going to take any kind of positive, is the goals they've conceded. But is it any areas of weakness you noticed about Liverpool, Sam, that you think United can exploit?
Yeah, like you said, they've conceded a lot, which means you can score against them. Like, you can get goals past them, but the problem is keeping them out at your end. That's the major issue, because Liverpool seem to play this philosophy of, we're just going to outscore you. Like, doesn't matter what you do to us, we're going to outscore you, which is the problem. And we've not had, I don't think we've had a clean sheet for a long time, or I can't remember the last one we had, to be honest with you.
0-0 draw or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, I can't remember. So we are notoriously not great at keeping people out, so we are going to have to score goals. And again, another issue for us, we haven't been great at scoring goals. Ronaldo aside, Rashford's been poor goal scoring wise. Sancho has been great on the assist, but I think has he got? 2 goals?
Something like that,
yeah. Bruno's not had his shooting boots on. Like, the last few games, he's been poor, like in front of goal and stuff like that. So it's going to be tough. We're going to need Ronaldo to have a game like he did against Norwich, basically. Just go give it.
That's
get
the
a
thing, though,
hat-trick.
like, we conceded 2 against Norwich, bottom of the table, who's got that 75% of their goal, 25% of their goals they've scored all season was at Old Trafford. Yeah. So
that's the thing. Like, we need to score, because we know we're going to concede. Like, we're going to, because we concede every game. We conceded, like I said, conceded against Norwich, so we're definitely going to concede against Liverpool. Like, it's going to happen. So we need to score goals, and Ronaldo needs to be on like he was. Like, the only reason we won that Norwich game is Ronaldo. That's the only reason.
Oh yeah, like, absolutely.
If he wasn't scoring, we weren't winning that game. That's a fact, and that's what we need, because Rashford's just not playing well enough. Sancho's only just come into the team this season, so I don't think we've yet seen the best of him, even though he's been pretty decent. And like I said, Bruno's been out of form.
Bruno's the one that worries me. I don't know what it is recently. He's because under Ole, yes, we played pragmatic football and stuff, but the stats he was putting in, 18 goals and like 12 assists and stuff like that, he was involved in every single game. He did something, whether it's an assist or a goal, and it's just dried up recently. And he likes playing that number 10 position, and now he's withdrawn to an 8. It looked initially like he suited it at first, but then now he just seems to be just moaning about everything, absolutely everything. And I'm not sure if that's a positional thing that he's been dragged back a little bit and he can't get involved with the attacking side. I don't know what it is, but he just seems mega frustrated, and you can see that on the pitch, can't you?
Yeah.
But yeah, do we, as a hypothetical situation, do we try to take a draw and then just put all our focus into the Arsenal game? Is that how you'd look at it as a manager?
I'd take a draw. I'd take a draw. But like I've said, how do we keep Liverpool out? How do we keep them out? If we're going to get a draw, we need to keep them out. And I don't see that happening. I don't see them not scoring against us.
It's a case of probably playing a fucking back 9 with Matic splitting between the centre-backs and just trying to smash and grab. I know we're going to get onto tactics. I think a lot of people have been rumours mentioning back 5s and stuff like that, or back 3 with the wing backs and stuff like that. So that might be the way to go, but... Yeah, you mentioned formation and tactics there, so let's just get straight onto that. Liverpool obviously set up in a 4-3-3 formation, heavy metal football, gegenpress, wing-backs have a massive influence in the game. They've become a bit more possession-based this season, with the likes of Thiago playing a massive part in that. And the tempo they play at is 100 miles an hour, so a very difficult team to play against, especially at Anfield. The positive for me is we still have Cristiano Ronaldo, and anything can happen with him in your team, like we saw against Norwich and Spurs in the Prem. So how important is he going to be tomorrow if we're going to nick anything at all? I know you touched on it slightly, but yeah, just Cristiano Ronaldo, he's pretty much every United fan's hope at the minute, innit, going into this game tomorrow.
He's our only player who's in any sort of form or any sort of positive upward trend, because all the other ones they're not there. Even Jadon Sancho's gone quiet the last couple of games. He's not been what he was doing previously. I didn't really... He had a few moments in the Norwich game, and then who did we play before that? Leicester, quiet. Really, really quiet. So he doesn't seem to be he's sort of ripping up anything either. So yeah, Ronaldo is the one and only hope at the minute, which is sad, because we've got some talented players on paper, but none of them are showing up.
I was just about to say that. It just seems like a pitch full of individuals, doesn't it? There's no connection. There's no there's nothing I see on the pitch where it just gives you a sense of joy to watching patterns of play, or because there's no consistency in team selection either. That has a massive effect on how they play. Liverpool, 9 times out of 10, you could probably name the lineup they're going to pick tomorrow. But for United, I know we're going to do predicted 11 very soon, but you don't have a fucking clue who's going to play. You don't have a clue at all who's going to play at centre back, or wing backs. It's just different every single time. So
you're kind of picking, hoping somebody gets some form, because you're not picking on form because nobody's in form, nobody's playing well. So you're just picking them going, maybe they'll have a good game.
Yeah,
that's what you're doing at this point, because we haven't got anybody in form where you're going, oh no, we have to pick them, bar Ronaldo. There's nobody else in the team where you go, no, they have to start.
Yeah,
that's the way it is.
It's inconsistency. Do you think that's the big difference between both of the teams? Just the inconsistency in the recruitment. You look at Liverpool, the players they brought in. You look at United, the players we brought in. We're spending 830 million on Wan-Bissaka and Harry Maguire. They spent that on Alisson and Van Dijk, and you look at the difference that they've had between them. They're the main issues between the two clubs. It's got to be recruitment
and stuff, and then team as well. All the players that Klopp has brought in, they've bought into him as a manager, bought into him as his philosophy and what they're doing, and they've all gone, everybody's pulling in the right direction. We don't have that. We've chopped and changed managers, like we've said previously. There's parts of Moyes' team in there still. There's Jose's team. There's Louis van Gaal's team. There's Ollie's team. So there's all these different groups of players. There's not a team together, and then they're all trying to just do their individual thing rather than go, right, what's right for the team? How am I going to help the team? And they're all pulling different. And then, as we know, they all down tools at some point when they feel like things are not going their way or they're not getting enough out of whatever it is they're doing. They just go, oh, we'll just not even try then. And that's the difference. Like, even when things are going bad for Klopp or going down, the team still has that fighting that mentality to go, no, we're going to work hard for this manager because he knows how to win. He knows his thing. Yeah. And we don't have that. We have none of that. And it's sad, but that's the truth.
If you was to take a player, let's say, from Liverpool to put into United squad and what we need the most now, who would you take? Because there's a selection of players in it, but who do you think would be the most important to bring in for United?
I think one of their midfielders, someone like Thiago or Fabinho, one of them would be great.
Thiago's such a good footballer. I've seen a thing the other day. He brought it down. I know the first season he struggled a little bit, didn't he? But it might have been Man City actually in the cup. He brought it down from 60 yards on his chest.
Yeah.
It bounced once and he did an outside the foot pass, like a 50-yard pass to the other side of the pitch. And I'm just thinking, what we'd give for that quality. We're watching McTominay and Fred. And yes, we are missing them at the minute because they bring a certain sort of presence.
Well, they're the only ones who give a shit. They
exactly.
Try. Like,
at least. But when you're talking technical ability, Thiago is one of the best in the world for me.
I'd take Fabinho as well. Like, if we had Fabinho, we wouldn't have to worry. We could have Bruno and Pogba, maybe not Pogba, but Bruno and say Donny in the future. We have Fabinho behind him. Don't have to worry about that. Fabinho will take care of all of that stuff. You guys go forward and create and pass and all that. Solve so many problems for us. Like, many problems.
Watching Pogba in that DM role on Norwich against Norwich the other day was painful, wasn't it? It was so you could just tell he does not want to do that role. No. One of their goals came from that as well. He was advanced up the pitch a little bit, which left space in behind. The midfield player picked it up. Telles was fucking miles far too forward. Was nowhere near the line. They get in behind. Timo Pukki scores a goal. So
it's just frustrating because, like, I know we're not here to talk about Pogba, but the talent that guy has, and it's just it's so frustrating to watch on the pitch. Like, it's so
we've seen it in that game when he brought it down from the air and then not make that play up because he's got quality, but it's just I don't know, man. I don't know.
I mean, we're playing him out of position as well, so that's. I mean, I get it.
Yeah,
I get that
exactly. Yeah, it's both sides in it. It's just better for both sides if he leaves. Let's do a combined 11, Sam. I know it might be painful.
There's going to be no United players in this.
Well, yeah, let's try. We'll try give a case for any United players to get in there. It's going to be hard, but let's start off with a goalkeeper. Even the goalkeeper, I'm like, Alisson's got both sides of the game.
He's got distribution. Like, he wins already, doesn't he?
Commands the box really well. He's quick
good
off his line.
Good with his feet.
So Alisson will have to go in.
The fullbacks, Trent and Robertson has to be done.
Trent and Robertson, absolutely. Van Dijk has to be in there. Varane, but Matip's having such a good season.
Matip's good. Who's the other guy that they've got as well? He's not
Konate's playing really well.
He's decent. So it's.
I'm going to throw Varane in there just to get a United player in there. I have
when Varane's fit and fired, I think Varane gets in, but
Matip's having such a good season.
I'm not like.
But we're solely doing it. It's a United channel. I'm trying to get United players in there. I'm trying. So we'll get Varane in there. So we've got Alisson, Trent, Varane, Van Dijk, and Robertson. Midfield.
You got to put Fabinho, Thiago, and then put Bruno.
Yeah. I'll give you that. Right. Fabinho, Thiago, and Bruno. And
I refuse to put Jordan Henderson in the team. I'm not doing
it. I know. I agree. And then you'd have would you have Mane or Jota on the left, or would you have Diaz or maybe as a shot? And then you got Salah.
I like Jota. I think Jota's
Jota over Mane. Do you think?
Yeah, for me personally, but I don't know. You might.
I don't know, because I think Jota's done really well since he's come in, but I've always been a massive fan of Sadio Mane.
Yeah.
So I don't mind.
I'm either way. I'm happy with either of them. Like, they're both great players, so it's.
Yeah.
And then you got to have Salah on the right.
Salah has to be on the right, and then
Ronaldo.
We'll throw Ronaldo up.
Ronaldo over Firmino, isn't it?
Yeah. Right. But I know Jota could play up front as well, and he's done really good there. But Ronaldo's. Yeah, it's Ronaldo. He's still done well. 37 years old, 15 goals, double figures for us.
Third top goal scorer in the league as well. So it's not like he's.
So
slumming it.
There's our combined 11. Tough one. It's a tough one because
some of them were dodgy as well. Some of them I was like,
yeah, it's 50-50 in it. Combined 11 done. Let's do predicted 11 for tomorrow's game. I'll go through mine very quickly, Sam. I think David De Gea again in net. Don't need to speak about that. Wan-Bissaka, I think we'll start because as we was discussing before, the defensive stability brings a little bit more at that, and it's usually whoever he's up against on the right hand side, he does pretty well against him. So I think he'll start. Lindelof and Maguire because Varane's injured still, which is an absolute nightmare.
And they're not going to play Bay either. So
yeah, they ain't going to play that, so it's pointless discussing it. Alex Tellers because Luke Shaw's still out, so a lot of decisions are being made just solely off we haven't got anybody else. I think Bruno, Matic, and Lingard will start. I think Lingard will start for energy because I think you play Pogba. Pogba's really good, but I don't think it's going to be a game where we have a lot of the ball. I think it's going to be a game we're going to have to put in an absolute shift. Counter-attack
football.
And I think Jesse's best qualities are playing into space because when he played for West Ham, when he got all them goals came from transitions and counter-attacks, and he can spin really well into space. So that's why I think Lingard will play.
He was anonymous though against Norwich. Like, I didn't even know he was playing. I was like, is Lingard still on the pitch? Are they taking him off? Like,
I'm just thinking of like a dogged game where like you're going to putting so much distance covered in terms of like all around the pitch. So I'm not going to go with Lingard for an outside chance. It'll probably be Pogba or someone else. But yeah, and I think Ronaldo, Rashford, and Sancho will start. To be honest, I think he'll try and get something out of Rashford on the counter attack and try and get a spark because he knows if Rashford gets a goal against Liverpool, that may be massive for him. So. Elanga played all right, don't get me wrong. It's Norwich, he did okay, got an assist obviously for Ronaldo, but this game I think is fit for Rashford. Especially if you're going to play on the counter attack. I know he's been awful, but what else are you going to do? Do you know what I mean? So yeah, gives your predicted 11, Sam, if you can.
Mine's pretty much the same, but I think he'll play Pogba instead of Lingard. Like, I think you're right with the energy and stuff like that. That's what you need. But I think Ralph is going to put Pogba in there because he's going to think, I want a physical presence on the pitch, especially against their midfield and stuff like that. So obviously Pogba is an absolute unit. So getting that physical presence on the pitch. Yeah, Sancho, Ronaldo, Rashford. I like Elanga. He played well, but I think it's a massive game. It's a lot of pressure to put on how old is he, 18?
Who's
17? Elanga?
Yeah, he's 18, I think. 18, 19, something like that. A
lot of pressure. United team that's doing absolutely abysmally against Liverpool, who are absolutely going to it might destroy
derail him.
Which is not great. Rashford's played in these games before, so why not give him an opportunity? I'd love to see a couple of youth players on the bench as well. Maybe give him some experience like around that kind of game. They might not even get on, but like get around that.
Given the experience of a 5-0 slapping, just to watch. This is how tough it can get, lads.
Just get because we had Garnacho and Hannibal on the bench and stuff like that, so that might be an option. But yeah, I agree with your team, but I think Ralph will pick Pogba over Jesse Lingard. Yeah, but I won't be surprised to Lingard to come on at some point, like as a sub. But
yeah, definitely. And you just look at like someone who Liverpool could bring off the bench as well, if they're nothing like that. Diaz, who they've brought in on the signing, is just a phenomenal player. So scary lineup for them. Whoever it is.
They've got like youngsters as well. Like Harvey Elliott seemed like he's a really good player. He's developing the midfielder, so they've got some good youngsters.
Bit of a shit house for them as well.
He absolutely loves it. He loves the shit and stuff. So yeah, he was saying something on Twitter about something wanted to a City player. I can't remember what it was.
Yeah, that's what I'm about. I can't remember what it was in particular, but it was definitely a bit of a good old shithousery, which, if it's on your team, you don't mind at all. Let's do score predictions then. What? Even more depressing, slightly. I'm going to go...
Oh, God.
I really don't know. If I go with my head, people aren't going to like it. If I go with my heart, it'd be a bit different, but... The whole purpose of doing score predictions is to what I think is going to happen, and I think we'll probably get beat 3-1. I think we'll probably get a goal through Ronaldo, or something, and that might even be a bit generous. It might be a 4-1 or something like that. But I think we'll probably get a penalty through Ronaldo. Or something like that.
I could see us scoring first, and then just getting absolutely battered in the second half.
Essentially, I just think we're going to get a goal from a free kick or a penalty or corner, something like that. And then the rest of the game, they'll batter us. And yeah, it'll be depressing. So I'll go with a 3-1 or 4-1. What do you think?
Oh, God. I really hate Liverpool. Like, I hate them as a team. No, when I say hate, when I say hate, I don't mean hate as in I want something bad to happen. I just, as a football fan, I hate Liverpool. As a United fan, I can't stand them.
Yeah.
Klopp is a fantastic manager. They have fantastic players. And I get that we as United have won stuff for 20 odd years and dominated it. And they haven't. And now they're having their time in the sun. Yeah. And I'm all right with that. It's fine. But it still doesn't change the feeling that I have in my chest when I see Liverpool succeed and we are so shit. And it just turns me up inside and I hate it. And I know Liverpool fans are probably watching this going, and it's fine. I get it because I did it to you when Gerrard slipped. I did it.
We've been doing the same. Absolutely,
it's fine. But oh God, I don't want to delude myself.
Just give your honest prediction.
Delude it. If I deluded myself, I could try and talk myself into a draw, but I don't think that's going to happen. I think, I could see us scored in first, and this elation that we've scored within, I could see us scoring 10 minutes or something.
And it was whoa, the fuck's going on?
And then just getting absolutely battered for the next 60 minutes. It could end up badly. It could end up 4-1 or something like that, I think.
What are you thinking, 4-1?
I don't think it's going to go well.
Okay.
And I hate saying it. I hate saying it. I really, really do. I wish I could. I can't delude myself into thinking that we can do anything because just look at our season. Look at it.
Yeah. I think you ask any United fan now for the score prediction tomorrow, I doubt a lot of them are going to be 3-0 United, 2-1 United. I think a lot of them would be and that's just natural because we're not stupid. We've seen the seasons that have happened on both sides, how well Liverpool are doing. They're still in they won one cup competition. They're still in 3 others. That 1 point.
They're in the final of one, so that could be number 2.
They are currently one of the best teams in the world, if not the best team. So you have to be realistic. We're playing shit, really shit, and struggled against Norwich. So yeah, it's 4-1. I'm going with you. You said 4-1 as well, didn't you? 3-1, 4-1, something like that. That is the preview. Finished on a bit of a sour note, but the match tomorrow is live from 8:00. We'll obviously be live for it for team news, halftime reaction, and post-match analysis. So make sure you join us for that one. You never know; it could be a nice one. Probably.
Honestly, please prove me wrong, United. Prove me wrong.
Please do. And thank you for watching, guys. If you haven't already, please subscribe to our YouTube channel and check our videos out. There's plenty to look at from over the weekend, including Maguire getting his P45. Make sure you check that one out. Our very own Adam dropping that off for him. And we're dropping a new show on Wednesday where fans can send in a clip of them talking about Manchester United, and we'll discuss it live on the show. So make sure you get your clips sent in. And if you want to have a voice, just send it to our email or Instagram, whatever it is you're talking about. If it's the managers, players, board, individual, whatever it is, just let us know and we will discuss it on the Wednesday show. Thank you for joining me, Sam. As always, I appreciate your time. I'm just hoping we can nick a draw or smash and grab tomorrow. But
I'll take anything. I don't care if it's a penalty and we just put 10 men behind the ball I don't care. I'll take anything at this point.
Yeah, we'll take that. They usually say, we'll take a VAR decision at 1-0 and fucking get out of there. Take the free. A draw would be a good result at this point. We'd be happy with a draw in it.
Yeah, I'll take that.
Yeah.
But follow all our socials here: TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Share, subscribe, all that stuff. We're trying to get to a point where we've got a few thousand subscribers. A long way to go. Long way to go. And we want to push our Instagram up as well. So we'll get into that. We need to push that up as well. So if you go and share that. A lot of videos, some of the videos are getting some decent views, but there's a couple of shows that are really good on the channel that I think you should go watch. Statman and Robin. I want some more views on that. I think it's a very good show. The preview, will be out. This is the preview. We'll have the match day and all that as well, and then the review. Hopefully, it's not too painful because that could. We might need another Real Reds rehab session with Dr. Saint if that happens to help us all through it. But please, thank you for everyone else who is subscribing and commenting. All that stuff means a lot to us. Even if you hate us, like City fans are commenting on it, it's fine. Like, all good, bring it on. Happy to.
So we'll see you in the next one. Take care, guys. In a bit.
Cheers, guys.